evening, and welcome to Midnight Convo's podcast with your girl Tiffany Nicole, aka your queen to be. Tonight is a new night. I don't got Ajax, I don't got King Chuck in the building, but I got the hubby in the building, and we got a guest tonight, Kim. How you feeling tonight?
I'm well, and you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Can't complain.
All right, now listen, we got a lot of things to talk about. I want to talk about your toothpaste. That's the number one thing that's on my mind. Black-owned business, because we're doing a 30-day Black-owned, and every Friday we're supporting a local Black business. So, BBF, Buy Black Friday. So, listen, this is Convo 77. Check out our previous Convos on Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, Podomatic, and check out our videos on YouTube. And what we need?
5-star rating, baby.
So make sure you rate us on
Cinco
iTunes.
estrellas.
Make sure you join us live right now on Midnight Convo's podcast, either on Facebook or IG. We're live on both. Let's get into last week's results from Cut 'em Loose. So every week we got to Cut 'em Loose, in which we bring you 4 things. It could be places, things, songs, movies, whatever the case may be, and you got to cut one. So since you weren't here, I'm going to get your opinion and see which one you would have cut. But let's get into what the people have voted on.
Okay.
So last week we had collabos, R&B and hip hop collabos. So the top 4, you got to cut one loose. So let's see. So with 10% of the vote, the people have spoken, and they've cut Method and Mary, All I Need. With 18% of the vote, the people have spoken, they've cut 112 and Biggie Mace, Only You remix.
Man, I thought more people was going to cut that.
15% of the people have spoken, and they've cut Nas and Lauryn Hill, If I Rule the World. Overwhelmingly. And I think people are hating because of her, because this fucking song was a smash, in my opinion. I don't know your age group, but I know when I was in 8th grade, this was bumping. Mariah and ODB, Fantasy Remix. Yo, New York in the house. It's Brooklyn in the house.
That's a classic.
That's a classic. 57% of the people have spoken. They've cut that.
You mentioned do you know what you mentioned with the other 3 though? If I said you gotta get Mary and ODB out of there. Rest in peace, ODB. But
Mariah.
I mean, get her out of there, man.
What?
The other ones is better.
That's a classic.
Yeah, I understand the classic, but the other 3 is a classic as well. Like,
That is true. It's hard to cut, but I just didn't think the percentile would be so high with Mariah.
What was the number?
57%.
Yeah, that's kind of high.
That's kind of high.
That's
like,
kind of high.
y'all acting like that wasn't a classic. Like,
it was dope.
That was beyond dope. That was a smash. You got, that's when Diddy was touching everything and making everything hot, putting his remix touch on it.
He remixed that?
He remixed that. You
was
see
him?
him in the video? What you gonna do when you get out of jail? I'm gonna have some
If he
fun.
danced with it, that means it has something to do with it.
Yes!
Yeah, true.
Diddy don't dance enough if he ain't getting no money. So, I think I got a good one for you guys tonight. So, leave that towards the end. Kim.
Yes.
Every week, we have a bae of the week. Can't be your wifey, can't be your girlfriend. Right? So, you get to go first, being our guest. Who's your bae of the week?
Well, my fiance ain't gonna get mad who I pick because she actually likes her too. So I'm gonna pick Tracy Ellis Ross.
Okay.
I like her. Yeah.
Diana's daughter.
Yes.
I like her because she's black and she stays black, but she keeps getting them checks all over. She crosses over. You know what I'm saying? Get that blackish check, but then she could do the awards.
Right, yeah,
she's pretty.
Multi-talented.
Exactly. I like that about her. Hubby.
That's
who
an
will
old
be?
head, though.
Yeah, but she, we gracefully age
I'm
like
31,
fine
but
wine.
I can still bag if I wanted to.
All right.
Hubby, who's your bae of the week?
I'm gonna choose a girl from Instagram. Her name is Dominique Chen.
Dominique Chen.
Yeah, she's from Houston. She's an Instagram, I guess, a model. But she's thick. She just had a baby. She was on. She was like incognito for a while. I didn't see like a lot of posts from her for like almost a year. And she popped up like nothing changed. She messed around and had a little baby.
Oh, that's what they doing.
Her body still looked the same.
You feel like she had a baby on you or something?
Nah, it ain't that serious. Ain't that serious. But truth be told, it's a small world because my people actually know her, like grew up with her and stuff out in the H town.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he told me a lot about her. You know, she's just, you know, sometimes you get like gas off for some of these Instagram, but she like a regular girl from the hood. Like, you know what I mean?
That's cool.
Yeah, man, she real pretty girl, man, and she thick. What about you? What about you, wifey?
All right, so my bae of the week is, what is his name? His name is Derek Jackson. So ladies, fellas, you know the guy that does the videos, he does the video, he'll play a video and then he'll respond to a video. He's real muscular, real chiseled, dark-skinned brother. He like gives advice about love and relationships.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think I know who you're
real
talking about. I
buff
never knew
dude.
his real name though. Yeah.
That is my bae of the week, and I got a picture of him like. So, ladies, I do not disappoint. Fellas, I do not disappoint. So that is my bae of the week, Derek Jackson.
What is he doing? Let's do that again. What's he doing?
He's just chiseled. He's and he's like, he has
Yeah.
a way with words. Like, he's giving relationship advice. So I like that. He's a smart brother, Derek Jackson.
So calm down.
Oh,
So
yeah.
is this birds and trees or is it
Both,
or is it
everything. It's everything. He has the whole package. Just like your girl has, you know, she's multi-talented. He's multi-talented. Kim, let's get into what you got going on. So one of the reasons why I wanted to have you on the show, on the podcast, is because I'm really making more of an effort to support Black-owned businesses. I think that's so imperative that we start to keep our dollars in our community, right? We have to support our own before we can support others.
Right.
And I think in order for us to grow as a community and economically be beneficial to others, because when you have a business, you can support and help others in their ventures, and you can start starting new businesses and start growing. You can help your people, your homeboys, and have jobs and do things like that and help the community.
Right.
So I think it helps everyone. So with you have a toothpaste, an organic toothpaste. Am I correct?
Toothpaste, yes.
How did you come about this? How did you develop this, and why?
Well, it was more for like, once I learned like it was fluoride in regular toothpaste, and I know what fluoride does to you. After a while, it gives you like Alzheimer's, and it's basically poison, and fluorides and rat poison. And it's in rat poison. Yeah, it's fluorides and rat poison, and you don't want that ingesting that in your body. So I was like, after I tried to figure out a more organic way to brush my teeth, I started doing research, and I'm like, oh, I could use coconut oil, because you could do oil pulling with just coconut oil just by itself. You just put it in your mouth for about 20 minutes, and then you can spit it out. So I was like, I don't think people have enough time to just sit there
and do all that.
Do oil pulling. So I was like, maybe research more, do toothpaste. So that's when I finally came up with a formula, just like have coconut oil, have organic myrrh, baking soda, and peroxide in it. That's what the regular one has. The other one has the same ingredients, but it has activated charcoal.
Okay.
In it. And they basically both do the same thing. They just have the charcoal one whitens your teeth faster. That's about it. Yeah.
That's big. I see a lot of people doing the charcoal, different combinations
that's
and things like
the
that.
little trend that
That's real hot right now. Got the black stuff all in your mouth.
So my mom is a health nut, and she had me on that like in 1998. The charcoal. That's how we used to brush our teeth.
Oh, okay.
And you know,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she was spot on. She knew what she was talking about.
Right. Like my boy said before, like, yo, when we was younger, we had all the remedies in our face. We just was like too ignorant to even like use it or whatever. Like, we just thought it was like some BS or something. But when you get older, you start doing research and like, oh no, this is really what we should have been using anyway. Because back then, that's what we was on anyway. We was on more organic and herbal things anyway. So
right.
It's only a natural thing to keep proceeding, especially when you get older and you realize what's going on.
right.
So, like, what has been the reception towards your toothpaste? Because people are a creature of habits. It's hard to say, hey, don't use this Colgate, this Crest, when you've been using it for God knows how long.
Right.
And then somebody tries to put something else in your face, like, yo, you need to try this. You're like, nah, I ain't with it. So how has the reception been towards it?
At first, it was a little difficult because anything that's different out of the
box.
norm or whatever, they kind of hesitant. But slowly but surely, people starts, they're trying it, and it's much easier now because everyone is being more conscious of what they put in their body. And
Facts.
And I thank social media for that, because now they're more aware now, and they're getting the knowledge, and I actually like to share the knowledge too, whoever wants to listen. So that was actually my first one, the baby right there. That's the one that started it all. Before I added the myrtle, because I was just coconut oil, baking soda, and peroxide. That was like just the original ingredients.
The basic.
Yeah, and I put like spearmint. I had different flavors. Then once I put the myrrh in it, which is much better, the myrrh takes over everything. So it was like, nah, I just gotta leave it like that with just myrrh, and then add with the charcoal. Because the myrrh, what it does, it has many benefits. Like it takes out like canker sores or whatever. It whitens your teeth. Any bad breath, even halitosis, it cures that. like no BS. Like I'm real, like for real. Yeah, it does a lot. There's many benefits to it, and I just wanted to give it to the world the way where I can just serve people. That's like my purpose, and the reason it's in a glass jar instead of plastic because I'm earth friendly.
Okay.
I say it's easier to recycle glass versus plastic.
The plastic.
Yeah, because plastic does so much damage to our ecosystem. So.
Look at him.
Yeah.
I like all that. Like,
yeah,
a knowledgeable brother. He's like, oh, the equals. Okay, I like that. When did you start Liquid Dreams?
Oh, it's actually called Lucid.
Lucid. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Lucid Dream.
Lucid Dreamer.
Dreamer. Okay.
Lucid Dreamer. Yeah. I started it December 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. I started it then, and then I launched the first product in January 2017. But it's just more than just toothpaste, though. I have actually another product that's coming out that's going to be on February 24th. And
so, like, less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm going to be at a Bob Black event in Jersey City on 60 West Side Avenue.
I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Nice. So, what's the next product?
Oh, I gotta release that now.
I'm just, if you want to keep it in the bag, but since you mentioned it,
I'll let it be known. It's a face scrub. It's a facial scrub. I'm gonna put out next. Face/lip scrub. It's gonna be made out of Himalayan pink salt. I think people know about that. You know, our body's made of 102 minerals, and I think the pink salt has at least 90 of the minerals that we need in our body. So yeah. There's other ingredients to it too, but I ain't gonna blur it all out. They'll get it. They'll get it when they come because I have to put the ingredients in
at the end. But yeah. That's cool. So like this all just came together just because you wanted to put the information out. You wanted people to have the product,
right?
Something different from what the Crest and the Colgate.
Right. Yeah. Because I'm a much healthier version basically. Because it's like. If I don't want it on my body, I'm pretty sure other people's probably searching it too. So
absolutely.
If they look in, I have the product, then
let's make it happen. It makes sense to put out a product.
Yeah.
Okay. So where can people get your products? Where can they get Lucid Dreamer from?
They actually get any social media platform. They can hit me directly. Like if you live in Jersey City, you can either meet up with me or I could deliver it to you, and that's free. But I can ship it anywhere in the United States. Okay. There's a link in my bio that have the actual website to it. On my Instagram, it's SoWavy Kam, so SoWavy Kam.
Nice, that's awesome. Now, with me, I feel that it's so imperative that we more Black people create businesses and have opportunities where they can sell products, especially if we're trying to be on this health journey. I think it's a cool thing. Now, how is it for you being a business owner?
What you mean, as far as?
Just as far as, you know, I know with Black people, when you put out products, they always want hookups. They always want, nah, that's too much. $10? Nah, I'm going to get this. So how has it been a businessman? Because, yes, you want to put your product out, but you still want to make a profit. It's still a business.
Right. At the end of the day, it's business. And it's not personal, so there's people that ask me the price and I see their face change. Like, oh yeah, I'll come back later to buy it. I'm like,
they come back.
Okay, no problem. Like, I really don't put pressure on it. It's like if you want to buy it, you buy it. You don't. So it's not for everybody. But it's not like I'm tanking at anything. People is buying the product. So and it lasts 5 to 6 weeks. So it's like you getting a bang for your buck. Like you spend $10 on anything. No,
absolutely, you spend $10 on lunch.
Right.
So it's
more than that.
Absolutely. So $10 is nothing. So make sure y'all go check him out. Give out your web. You got a website?
Yeah, it's best to just go to my Instagram to go to and the link is in my bio.
Lucid Dreamer.
LLC, yep.
Organic toothpaste.
Homemade organic stuff. Yes. So make sure you go check him out. SoWavy Kam.
Yeah, SoWavy Kam.
And he has the link.
It's SoWavy Kam. The link is in my bio.
That's what's up. So support Black-owned businesses. This is what we're trying to do. So you got the scrub that's dropping in, you said this month, right?
Yeah, February 24th. Yes.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. Yeah, because it's the next product is like my next baby, and I'm actually happy about it. But Lucid Dream is just not product, because I also take I do photography too.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
it's
you
yeah.
So what's your passion? What's your love?
My passion is helping people, to be honest. So, and I guess photography. They probably gonna think I'm some I like looking fly, to be honest. Like,
I've seen your pictures.
Yeah, I like looking fly, taking pictures. Like, I'll dress good, I feel good. That's how I come in. So.
Okay, cool. That's important what you said, because I want to touch on that. You feel good, you look good, and obviously you're probably into name brands and designers. So we're gonna touch on that a little bit. Okay. So thank you for everybody that's joining us on IG. Listen, this is Convo 77. Make sure you check out our previous Convos. SoundCloud, Stitcher, Podomatic, YouTube is the videos, iTunes, Stitcher. Make sure you leave us those reviews. Let's get into our first convo. I think it's so much going on right now. It just saddens me. And I wanted to touch a little bit on the designer stuff, because obviously people know what's going on with the Gucci and their blackface. And this is nothing new. I made a video, so check out my video. Go to The Real Tiffany Nicole or Midnight Convo podcast, and you can see my response to that. So for people that like to look fly and they spend their money on these designers, what do you do when you see stuff like this?
I stand with the play card. I'm not gonna wear no Gucci or anything, but before I get into that, you don't have to always buy high-end designer. You could buy anything you want. You just fly, drip, or whatever you want to call it, source, all that is whatever.
How you make it.
How you make it, yeah. Because it's not like I'm wearing the clothes. Like, the clothes is wearing me. I feel like I make the fit. Like, whatever I put together is good. And that's like no conceited. That's just
what it is.
Yeah, it's what it is. You know, I'm confident in my look, how I look. So
you can wear Target stuff.
Yeah.
And still
nice.
rock it, right?
Put some nice on my feet. Long as, man, I mean, I can make it look good. It's no problem with me. You don't always have to be high-end designer, because this shirt, I mean, this Wu-Tang's, but Wu wear, whatever. Like, this PacSun jeans, he's not even no Amaris or whatever, like Balmains.
Yeah.
Like, you could switch it up, you know. But as far as like with the blackface, like I'm not gonna wear no. I never wore Prada anyway. I was never into the Prada. So Gucci, I won't wear none of my Gucci stuff. So. And Montclair, I only got one pair of Montclair sneakers. I don't really mess with them too much.
What happened with Montclair?
They did the same thing, blackface. They had a coat. Prada had the little keychains. But this is a long history of this.
Wow.
They don't value our dollar. I don't know why. And you spend your whole paycheck on a belt. You got one piece. And you rock that one piece with Old Navy jeans. So it's like, let's be real. Who are we really supporting, and what are we doing it for? So it's like, do we continue to put their money? And this is the problem that I have, is because you can buy whatever you want, but when you don't support local designers, when you don't support your brother who has a clothing line, that has a t-shirt line, but you spend your whole paycheck on a designer that has no fucking cares about you, your community, your people, it's like, really?
Right.
It's like, really? We got to do better.
It's the smack in the face.
It is a smack in the face. It's like, we need to do better. And not just the designers that's kind of doing shit like that. There's a incident in which parents were outraged in Atlanta because their kids were doing like a Black History Month recital type of thing. And the kids were reciting did you see it? The kids were doing a poem, "We Are the Mask." And the mask was of a blackface. Lips was really big, black, big eyes, just like Prada, just like Gucci. So it's not just with the designers, it's with, you know, in the schools. It's with our young. So it's like, what are we teaching our young? Yeah. So as a parent, how do you deal with that? What do you do?
You give them truths and you give them history. That's the only way you can resolve this. I mean, personally, with my children, our children, I should say, it falls on us first to educate. You know, you put them in the schools, and they're not your kids' babysitters. They're giving additional education besides the primary education that should come from the household.
Right. Starts from home.
It starts from home. Personally, I grew up around my great grandmother. She was on our land in North Carolina, and anything we had to ask, we could ask her because she's only one generation removed from slavery, and her parents were slaves when they were children. So anything you want a real perspective, and everything's about experience. So you want a perspective from somebody who's actually had this experience, not from something that's in a book. Anybody can put anything in a book and you can read it.
Right.
You want to hear from the person.
Facts. Because first of all, they don't tell us our own true history anyway.
That's right.
You got to go search for it yourself.
That's right.
Yeah, it's true. And in this Black History Month, February is 28 days, and if you don't know no better, you would think Black history started with Harriet Tubman, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Maybe some people know Marcus Garvey. Yeah. So, and that's it. It's like we got so many leaders, so many other important people that played a role.
It's a post that I seen. I can't remember the person that posted, but it says slavery isn't our history or start of our history. It was just an interruption.
Interruption.
Yeah.
Deep.
We would never
because we was always scholars and
right.
Like educators, kings and queens. Like we came from like gods and goddesses. It really came from that royalty stuff. You really have to do your research to know about this. Like that third eye thing, it's a real thing. Like being conscious and vibrating higher, like being on a higher frequency.
Right. And you don't say we were slaves. You say we were enslaved, meaning that they did that to us. We weren't voluntarily wanting to be slaves.
Right.
So it's you can't. There's something about DNA, right? The bloodlines, and you pointing that the bloodlines are the bloodlines. You can't change what's going through our body. You can tell us whatever you want to tell us, but you can't stop us from being great because that comes from our ancestors.
Right.
Facts. Makes me think about when we went to Egypt and we were surrounded by all this history, and you go into the museums in Egypt and they say how the Europeans just stole all these artifacts and all of our history. They don't want to be. They hate us, but they want to be us, and they want to steal our culture and our history.
Shot the note off the Sphinx.
Exactly. I got a beautiful picture of me right by the Sphinx. But so it's like you gotta travel. You gotta open a book. You gotta learn the things that's not gonna be brought to you. You gotta seek knowledge.
I'm trying to tell you, most people when they see things with their own eyes, somebody who's read a bunch of books can't tell them ish anymore.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts. I agree. So I thought that was important, but I wanted to touch on what you said earlier. Like before we started on camera, you said that you were a vegan. And you've been a vegan for a couple of years, right?
Yeah, a little over 3 years.
So what made you do the transition to that lifestyle? Because we were trying, literally trying for a hot second. But my husband is really trying to go in there. I got a family members that's really trying to go that wave.
It's basically mind over matter. Like I got my fiance off. She don't eat. She's pescatarian, so she still eats fish. So but she eats more vegetables and fruits now. But with me, I just it's learning self, trying to learn more about myself. Then I came across we originally didn't eat meat anyway, so it was and once I found out that it's bad for you, red meat sits in your intestines for a while, it don't digest right away. So once I started doing research and learning about myself, it's I don't want to do this. I don't want to eat meat anymore. And I thought I wasn't gonna be able to do it at first because I was I love chicken. And I like turkey bacon because I'm that's my favorite thing. So one day I was just I'm gonna just try it for a week. I tried it for a week and I never went back. It's not even as hard. It's not as hard as you think it is, to be honest.
So that first week you wasn't dying for a burger or a steak or whatever your favorite meal is?
Nah, I mean I had some of my friends pick at me. They made jokes, but I don't think they doubted me or anything. But it's just I could be around it. If you have a burger or whatever, I'm yo, that look good, it smell good, but I wouldn't want to eat it though. I could still compliment it and not want to have it.
You're not eating it behind somebody's back.
Yeah.
You're not doing all that, right?
Nah, I don't have the urge for it.
Personally, I left the red meat and pork alone about 21 years ago.
Okay.
And the hardest part was going to the family member's house in the summertime, smelling that. Not even the burgers. It was that steak. That steak on that grill. It was cooking. Man, it was, and I still like the smell to this day. But I know it'll make me kind of like food poisoning at this point. Right. I haven't had it in my system in so long. Yeah. But it's a challenge. I'm not gonna say it's easy, because I think food is like drugs, man. It's definitely an addiction. Certain things are an addiction. Like I try to eat fast food, but every once in a while I'll go to McDonald's and get a filet fish sandwich, just so I can cheat on my own, because I like the taste of it. And there's certain things that stimulate you from your childhood. Like I was telling you with the steaks, I like to smell the steaks still to this day, because it makes you reminisce in my childhood, my uncle on the grill in Weekway in the backyard, chefing it up. So, but I don't need it.
Yeah, them summer barbecues, man. The good times. You got family all around, there's the food and everything. Yeah, cause I was a big macaroni and cheese fan. Like my aunts made it from scratch, and it was like, I don't eat cheese. So it was like,
that's hard.
When I first became vegan though, I would eat the cheese though, but I'm like nah, I'm not doing it no more, because it messed my stomach up. I'm good. Now you can make cheese out of cashews, but that's a whole different thing. It tastes good, but I'm just saying it's a different process. But yeah.
My quick question for you is, there's a couple of spots that my uncle had mentioned, like, hey, we got to get our feet wet, let's go. Any vegan restaurants that you recommend?
Yeah, I got it now. I like More Life. It's in Jersey City. My new favorite spot is called Tea New Jersey. They have beef teriyaki, and it's vegan, of course, but everything I order from there so far is nothing nasty. Like, everything's good, because everybody think that when you vegan it's bland, like you eat salads all the time. I'm like, no, I could basically eat what you want. I eat what you eat, it's just made differently. Like, I could still eat cakes and stuff. Like, there's different ways to eat cakes. Like, instead of putting eggs in it, you could put applesauce, or you could use a half a banana to substitute for the egg, and it tastes absolutely good. You don't taste the applesauce.
You like it so hard. It's just an egg or banana. That's what you laugh on.
I don't know. I don't know.
It probably sounds weird, but when you eat it, if I was to offer you something, but if you didn't know I was vegan, you'd be like, oh, this is good. What is it? And I'm like, oh, that's made out of beans. Like, that's a veggie patty or a vegan patty. You wouldn't even know. Yes. They have coconut bacon. They have different types of
coconut bacon.
They have different types of vegan bacon. Yes. Coconut bacon is one of my favorite bacons to eat.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
Wow.
She doesn't do any kind of bean.
No, I don't.
That's gonna be the hard, because that's where you get a lot of your protein from when you go vegan.
Oh, speaking of protein, everybody asks where you get protein from. Where does the animal get the protein from?
That's the grass. Yeah.
So that's where I get my protein from. Get the protein from the beans. The veggies I eat, the fruit, even fruits have protein in it. Probably not as much, but
and the nuts.
Yeah, and the nuts. I eat walnuts, almonds, and to go deeper than that, walnuts is good for your brain. And figs is good for the. There's a lot of science to it. It's really good for your body. Everything that's grown.
100%.
Like that, but they gotta remember, you can't eat seedless watermelon or seedless grapes. It's not good for you. Those considered hybrid, because whatever is grown out the earth is meant to be reproduced, so it must have seeds in it. So, yeah.
Okay. Doug just went to a spot in Union, so he's trying to get me. It's another spot in Harlem. I don't know the name of it, but he's been dying to get me to go. So I mean, I need tips.
Champ's Diner. Champ's Diner. I think that's in I think that's in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know, because he's been dying. Like, yeah, we gotta go here. So I'm gonna get my feet wet. I'm gonna try to do a week and see how I feel, and if I'm not hungry to death.
Nah, New York has a lot of vegan spots. It's more vegan spots. Like I said, the culture is slowly shifting over to the vegan and plant based. Because, like I said, the information out there and they learning. So more of these places are starting having vegan options. So
yes, I noticed that.
But this is a thing. This is another thing. To live a certain lifestyle and live healthier is so expensive. So I think a lot of people don't cross over, or even if they want to, economically they can't, because when you go to let's just say, I'm just going to throw it out, a Whole Foods, it's expensive to buy the food there, the fresh food, the organic stuff, or whatever the case may be. But you can go get a whole meal for $5 at the Chicken Shack.
Right.
So I know a lot of people that have started on a more healthier journey, maybe not as going so far as being a vegan, but just living a little more balanced, healthier life. They couldn't maintain it because they felt that it was too expensive.
I don't think it's too expensive, to be honest, because it just depends where you go shopping. Because I go to Stop and Shop, go to Acme, I get fruits and vegetables. It's cheaper than buying raw meat or raw chicken. Like,
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe because I'm into the finances too. Like I have financial freedom. Like I'm into, like, I don't like debt, so I know how to get out of debt and stuff. Like I help people with that too, because it's a book that I read, and I try to tell my friends, like, yo, we can start more businesses. We'll be all out of debt. You know, we have more money to stack to the side
and do other things and grow
and invest in. Because I told my friends, like, I'm shooting to be a billionaire. If I fall short, I'm be a multi-millionaire, and that's the real.
That's
thing.
your mind frame.
That's the real thing, yeah. And we all can do it. It's just that we don't have the knowledge. We not looking for it at the time. That's all.
So my question, you seem to be a very knowledgeable young brother. How, when you spew this information to people around you, how do they take it? Do they catch it, or do they just like drop?
I don't force it on them. It's like, if they ask me, then I'll suggest something. Like once in a while, like I'll send them like these 3 steps that I read in this Dave Ramsey book. Like how to get out of debt. Like the first step, save up $1,000. Step 2,
the snowball effect.
Yeah. Step 2, you police your debts from smallest to largest. You tack it that way, but you stop all your investments. Once you get that out the way, step 3 is to save up your emergency fund. So you take that $1,000 and save it up to 3 to 6 months of your expenses, and you put that out to the side, and then you can start doing your investing in mutual funds and getting your Roth IRA and stuff like that. Yeah, so.
You catching this information?
Oh, we talk about this.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
All
right. You hearing this?
I'm about to say, because he ahead of me anyway. He own the house already. I ain't bought my house yet, so I'm working on it.
Yeah, home ownership is key.
Is important. It's really, home ownership is important. Believe it or not, it's cheaper to own than it is to rent down the stretch. It's not a race. It's a marathon.
It's definitely not a race.
It's not a race.
It's a marathon.
And a lot of people that I know, they don't want to invest in a house because they don't want the responsibility that comes with it. Like, I don't like shoveling. I don't do that anymore, but my husband does. But the things as a homeowner that you have to do: shovel, do the grass, and all that type of stuff. But think about it. If you're paying, let's just say, $2,100 for a mortgage, and you're paying $1,800 for an apartment, and you don't own it. Like, your money is wasted.
No equity.
You're not building equity. So I try to tell my friends, like, buy a house.
Right.
Get a house. And there's so many first-time homeowner programs that you can get involved with. But buy a house. Get a rental property. You can do that. But if you just giving a landlord your money every month, and he's good, then he takes your money.
Gonna go up each year.
Absolutely.
Soon you ain't gonna be able to live there no more anyway.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to afford it. So it's like, buy, invest. That should be your number one thing.
Yeah.
Buy.
And if they don't want to buy a house, you can also buy a
townhouse.
So that way you don't have to have the responsibility of cleaning out outside.
But you're gonna pay for that luxury. The HOA sometimes it's kind of pricey
in that area. Yep.
But I think that's a big major part. I think buying something, owning something that you can build equity in is important. Convo 77. If you missed any of our previous convos, go to Stitcher, Podomatic, Stitcher, TuneIn, YouTube is our videos, iTunes. Make sure you subscribe. Join us live. I want to ask this question before we get into our song of the week, and I want to shout out the ladies that we will be doing their song of the week. We're going to be playing it at the end. They're from Dallas. Sisters, young sisters. So we'll be playing your song of the week closer to the end. But I wanted to ask you this because I'm very pro-black, and I try to tell people who's not black, just because I'm pro-black doesn't mean I'm anti-anything else.
Right.
It doesn't mean that. It's just that I'm immersed in my culture. I'm immersed in my people doing better, uplifting them, and reaching their goals. So we were having this debate maybe 2 weeks ago, and I thought it would be perfect for the podcast. Could you be pro-black and woke, as they say, and date someone outside of your race, specifically a white person? You being our guest, you can go first. Can you be woke and pro-black and date a white woman?
I don't know, to be honest. I love my black queen. I don't have no answer for that.
So you gonna bow out on the question?
So let's just
gracefully.
Okay, so let's just say you were single. All right, you were here, you're single, and there's people reaching out to you, and you meet people face to face, right, delivering your product, and you meet a white woman, and maybe she respects and wants what you're doing, and she's knowledgeable, and you guys have a lot of things in common. Right. And then when you go in depth about the movement, of what you're trying to do as far as, us as a race or whatever, and what we're going through the show, she is 100% empathetic. You know what I mean?
She's with the struggle.
So how can you turn that away? Like,
I don't know to be honest, but if it goes that way in a perfect world, then I'm pretty sure it can work. Because at the end of the day, you also can't help who you love. So if love is a real thing, then that if you have that connection, then it's worth going after it. So,
Hubby, do you think you can be pro-black and woke?
Hell yeah. It's all these mixed babies who are pro-black, and they were born in the 60s and 70s during the civil rights time. Their parents are out here marching, protesting, getting their ass up together. Right. Driving through different states, towns, so on and so forth. And they did it together. Like, this ain't nothing new. Mm-hmm. Interracial dating. And both people, and it's also hard when you're in the having to deal with the white family. We always think about how hard it is bringing the white girl home to mama, or around the family, around cookouts. But vice versa, the brothers coming around or a sister coming around the white family, feeling small going into the situation, and having them to let them know who you are, who we are, and checking people. I mean, that happens to this day, right? We got to check people, respectfully. But
you seen Get Out, man?
Yeah, but as uneducated you think as some of these brothers and sisters are running around the hood doing ignorant stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. Whites have had the same education, right? They're just going through whatever the government has approved and rubber stamped to teach our small children, So they're going around here completely ignorant until you check them. And I don't think a lot of people aren't purposely, or children being purposely disrespectful, they just don't know. They're ignorant.
They're ignorant about it, yeah.
But I still think it's taboo though. I still think it's even in 2019, I still think it's taboo when you see a black person and a white person together. I still don't think people fully accept it. I still know, and I'm just speak for me. I know when I see it, I'm like, cool, that's cool. But I always look like, okay, all right, cool. But it's still like a double take. I know there's so many people in my office, they will say, because I work in an all-white office. I am the only chocolate drop. And it's okay because I can maneuver in any situation you put me in. But certain black things or topics that come about, they can't handle it. They don't know how to deal with it, or they get quiet. They don't want to respond. They don't want to, partake in a conversation because they still can't deal with black issues or things that we find as a struggle. So I know black relationships, people dating outside of their race, specifically a white woman or a white man, it's still taboo. People say that they're accepting, but it's still kind of taboo.
But you think they're ignorant in itself? Like, one of the things you just brought up is that they don't want to jump into the conversation, but is it because they're ignorant and they don't even know how to address some of these topics?
They express it the right way.
Well, and what does that mean? If you can express it, or you can accept it, or you're ignorant to what's going on, what does that mean? That you're still not accepting to it. You're still not 100%.
Sometimes people grow up segregated. It's hard to say, but just living in the South, there's one school per town, and whether you like somebody of another race or not, you grow up with your senior classmates from K to senior year. Like you're forced. Here we're segregated. In the Northeast, you're segregated economically, right? Mm-hmm. So you can be from Newark, you can be from Jersey City, you can be from Camden, and you might not really have to deal with white people till you get out of high school. Like you might have no interaction with white people, And the same thing with white people. They're socially economically, they're living in the suburbs, somewhere that's 45 minutes away or 30 minutes away from the local, I don't know, hood, as we say.
Why do we always say whites in suburbs? They could live in white trailer trash parts, or they could live in rural areas. It doesn't necessarily
Okay, so rural areas, so however you want to put it, but that's the distinction. So all those areas in the South go to one school, and the parents have to deal with each other as a community in one township. And you see a lot more, believe it or not, I've seen a lot more interracial dating than I've ever seen in my life when I moved to the South from the North.
I agree. I don't know if you can walk around with medallions, African medallions, Malcolm X shirts, MLK hats, and then have Becky on your arm, and people not give you those looks. Yeah. And I'm not saying I have anything wrong with it, because you love who you love. You're attracted to. I'm attracted to spirits and energy. So whoever you are attracted to, that's who it is. But it's hard to be like Black Power and you got this lily white girl on your arm, and maybe you ain't never touched a black woman. It's kind of hard. It's hard for people to digest. Not saying that there's anything wrong with it, but I know people are looking at it funny.
What do you mean, like you've never touched a black woman?
You've never dated a black woman.
Oh, never dated a black woman.
All you date is lily white girls. And people can have a preference.
All right. Everyone's entitled to their own preference, but
I think it's something you have to evaluate in person. I will have to, in my opinion, let's say in your scenario, the white girl, I'm not just to me to have a conversation with her. I mean, perception is everything, right? But if she's not doing the most, being extra, wearing the Black Panther hat to the side and all that stuff, I'm like, she's doing too much. But if she's just being herself, I mean, it's up to us to engage each other and judge somebody on their character. That's what so many of our leaders express, right? That's what we want. Right. Don't judge me on the color of my skin. Judge me on my character. Your character you might have a better character than anybody I've ever met in my life from any color or creed. And you deserve it. You're a blessing that he found somebody like you.
Facts. I agree. So let us know your thoughts. Can you be pro-black? Can you be, woke, as they say, and have a white girl or a white man on your arm? Can it work? Let us know. I want to know your thoughts. One last topic, one last combo before we get into our song of the week. Once again, just tell us how people can connect with you. Just briefly tell us about the new product and when that event is happening.
You could follow me on Instagram at SoWavy Kam. That's SoWavyKam. And there's a link in my bio to order the toothpaste, and the new product that will be dropping is a face scrub, which will be February 24th at the Bob Black. That's promoted by Focus, Chance, and Pooh. Team Push, and
Team Push?
Yeah, that's what they call it. Yeah.
Okay, Team Push. All right. So, when is the event again? What time is it?
It's February 24th, 5:30.
All right, so make sure you go out and support the event. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be other vendors.
There's going to be other vendors.
Different people pushing different products, and pretty sure most of it's going to be black owned.
It's all black owners and entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So if you're in the area, make sure you go support the Black Buy event, and make sure you step in and get some products. What size? This is a sample. So what size does?
That's the actual.
This is the actual.
Yeah, y'all can keep that. That's a
actual
product. It's 4 ounces.
I was taking this.
You
I wasn't no.
Yeah. See, the Becky won't do that.
He's special. Yo. So this is what you'll be getting. $9.99 right now.
Yeah, $9.99, and the charcoal is $11.99.
$11.99 and $9.99. Listen. This will last you
5 to 6 weeks.
5 to 6 weeks. You can spend $10 and $11.99 for a product. You know, go get you something that you don't mind. You're not putting rat poison in your mouth. That's gonna scrub and get your breath right, get your teeth right.
In your opinion, how do you administer into your toothbrush? In your opinion, just your toothbrush. Should you wet your toothbrush first?
You don't have to wet it. You don't have to wet it at all. All you gotta do is take a dry toothbrush, dip it in there, and just brush your teeth.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I love it. Can we get into our last convo? I want to ask you. You are taken. You have a female in your life.
Fiance,
you have a fiance. Shout out to the fiance. Question, because this was brought to me, and I always say, my husband is my best friend.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, obviously, I have other best friends outside of him, outside of our relationship, but he is my best friend. I can talk to him about pretty much everything, and you know, I think if you're gonna get married to someone, that's the way it should be.
Right.
So we were talking to someone, remember, at the bowling alley?
Yeah.
And they were basically saying that your significant other, your husband or your wife, is not your best friend. Because you can't really tell your best friend all your inner thoughts and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. I was like, well, you can, you know. And she was adamant that that's not the case. And she was like, basically, you can't pillow talk to your husband or your wife. And if you do pillow talk, how much do you pillow talk? So let's just say you came with your homeboy or whatever, and he's telling you some shit that he got going on. Maybe with his girl, he's doing something dirty or whatever the case may be. Would you pillow talk that to your best friend, meaning your girlfriend or your fiance?
I wish my fiance came here with me. She wanted to come,
but
she wasn't able to make it. Okay. But she would tell you that I don't tell her shit at all.
All?
I keep it
Nothing?
to myself. Yeah.
Nothing.
It's like, I don't want to say it's bro code, but it's just like I was just never the person to like pass. Like, I don't like pillow talking. Like, I know a lot of secrets about a lot of people. Like, they just feel comfortable opening up to me. I just won't never repeat it. That is how it's been since I was younger. So it's like, whatever's told to me is safe.
It's safe.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna never blurt it out unless it's like it's public and it's something I can speak to my fiance about, or maybe get an opinion about it. Then I might speak to her about it. But other than that, nah, I don't tell nobody nothing.
Does she pillow talk to you and tell you things that maybe?
If I answer that would be me snitching. I'm pillow talking to you.
But I'm not telling you. Saying what she said, like, hey, Lucy's having a baby with.
Yeah, she's open to telling me things. I'm open to tell. Like I said, I tell her things, but certain stuff that's like between like me and the person, like I won't repeat it. Like that's just
you. Yeah. And you've been that way forever.
Right. Yeah.
Hobby, what's your thoughts on pillow talking?
How you gonna talk to me to ask me questions to things that you already know? Like this
they don't know.
I don't tell her shit. Don't tell her goddamn thing. You know what I'm saying? Your secret's safe with me.
That's what you're gonna leave it at? That's what you're.
I'm trying to get the gas.
I think pillow talk is a necessity. I think you should pillow talk. I think it's healthy to pillow talk. Mm. But I think there's certain things, there should be a level of trust. There's certain things that if you tell me, I'm not going to tell him if it's that important to you. Like, but if it's something that's not, important, it's just a general thing, every day, then okay. Then we can talk, we can have a conversation about it. Because I think sometimes you don't even really realize you're talking because you're comfortable. You're on the bed, you're with your boo, your husband, your wife, whatever, and things just come out. But I think you always have to put in mind that there has to be some boundaries. And then with that, there has to be a level of, if I do say something to you that may have slipped out, that it's going to stay in this bedroom.
Oh, no, I'm 100% sure that she won't, like, if I tell her, yo, you don't say nothing, like, she won't, like, I know I can trust her. I'm pretty sure I can tell her anything. I tell her stuff about me that nobody don't know, it's not going to get, nobody else is going to know, like, I trust her. That's no issue. It's just that I just don't pillow talk.
You just don't pillow talk, and some people don't. Yeah. Did you want to add?
Not really. I mean, I don't think I'm not that. Yeah, there's certain secrets. Of course, I wouldn't tell my wife about other people, but especially anything that's could possibly get her in type of legal trouble. You know what I mean? So if I have a friend that does anything crazy, bro, sis, that is from my ears only, and it'll never leave. Because if I do trust anybody, it will be her. But at the same time, would never put her in a situation if something happened that she would be forced her hand to answer some type of questions.
And speaking of that, I had to have some dialogue with my fiance about that, because I'm like, shit, like with some as far as something maybe legal or illegal matter, she might ask a question. I'd be like, I have to explain to her, like, yo, that type of question you cannot ask because for your safety or just legal or illegal, whatever. Like, you don't need to know nothing about it. You don't ask that type of question. Like, you good. You don't need to know the answer to that. Like, but yeah.
No, I mean, you gotta have boundaries and the perimeters and things of that nature.
And everybody who out here, tough guy, whatever, you seen all these movies. As soon as you move your lips with your lady and somebody press her, you know what I'm saying? What you expect her to do? You know what I mean? Somebody pressed her.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So stop. Just keep it to yourself.
Be careful when you're pillow talking, and please don't pillow talk with the hoes. You can't be telling the side pieces what's going on, you know, like, because y'all get
Flag
comfortable. Exactly. Dudes be getting real comfortable and starts jabbing and bumping their gums to the side piece. Like they therapist. Right? It happens. I've heard that it has happened. So, you know, don't be doing that.
It does happen.
It absolutely happens.
Yeah, it happens.
So, but it shouldn't be happening. Don't be telling the side, because as soon as y'all on the outs, she telling all the shit. She's telling everything. So make sure you check out our previous convos. This is Convo 77. King Chuck, Ajax not in the building tonight. We'll be back with them. I'm thinking about trying to put out February 14th. What's that? The Valentine's Day show. We did one last year with King Chuck and his beautiful wife. So hopefully we can do something this Friday. So stay tuned. I'm trying to get that out on Friday. Can we get it to cut them loose?
Let's cut them loose.
Cut it. So this
Shout out
is
to OTJ.
we do the 4 things, places, things, or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
So we gotta celebrate this black woman. This black woman who I will give my husband a whole pass for her because he loves her so much. Taraji P. Henson.
That's my girl.
That's the one person I'll probably give him a whole pass.
I had to fight over.
It's gonna be a line for Taraji. But anyway, I want to celebrate her because she just received her walk on a Hollywood. Her star.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't even get that out. So she got her star. So I'm happy because, you know, she's been putting in work since Baby Boy. So, and it went even before that. She was doing little sitcoms and things of that nature. And so she finally got her star. Beautiful thing. Snoop got a star recently. They're giving everybody stars, man.
Yeah, they long ago.
Absolutely.
She moved out to Hollywood with just a toddler, you know, and everybody told her she wasn't gonna make it. You know what I mean? She
And
was
look at
a
her.
single mom, toddler.
Yeah.
She
And
didn't allow nobody to set limitations on her.
And look at her.
She was homeless at one point also.
yeah. She has a whole story. So, I mean, Google her, research her if you don't know. People are just discovering her because of Empire. But check her history. She's been doing this way before Empire.
Kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm 31, but still.
But exactly. The young ones. So, I want to put her movies out there. So, I'm going to give you 4 Taraji P. Henson's movies, and you got to cut one loose. Starting with Kam, our guest. So, we got Hustle and Flow. Yeah, I got to. Hidden Figures, Baby Boy, and Think Like a Man. Which movie are you cutting?
I didn't see Think Like a Man yet, but out of the 3, I'll cut Hustle and Flow out.
Hustle and Flow, you cutting?
I'll cut that out. Yeah, the other
that
two,
was a-
You didn't see
Oscar.
Think Like a Man. You haven't seen Think Like a Man, so you gotta cut that one, right?
No, you can't tell me which one to
I
cut.
don't want to cut it because I want to give it a chance. Because even though, like, you know, Bruce Willis did a movie we even hear Women with Women thing. I think this much be funny because, you know, man, we be thinking on some other stuff anyway. So I'm pretty sure that got to be funny. Like, I'm pretty sure I'll laugh at that movie a lot. But out out of the other list, I think I'll cut Hustle and Flow. I can't
Hustle
cut
and
the
Flow.
other two.
They won an
off.
Oscar. They won a Grammy for the song.
That's
It's hard out here for a kid. I couldn't stand that shit.
Whoop that shit.
What is going on? It's funny what they gravitate to. Like she won an Oscar, or they won an Oscar for that. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're cutting Hustle and Flow.
I'm cutting Hustle and Flow. Yeah.
All right, hubby. Let me run that list one more again.
One more again.
We got Hustle and Flow.
Right.
We got Hidden Figures.
Right.
Baby Boy. Think Like a Man. Which one are you cutting?
Probably Think Like a Man.
What?
Yeah.
That's what the whole ensemble. Michael Ealy, Gabrielle Union. I think Lala was in the movie. Steve Harvey movie. That was the shit.
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You seem like uncertain.
I'm uncertain. I like her a lot.
I know you do.
Let me take that back.
No, you can't. Don't take it back.
I want to take it back. No, I'm gonna keep it.
All right, so you gotta cut Think Like a Man.
Yeah, Think Like a Man. Yeah, you gotta get the fuck
Did you see the movies? Yeah. Did you want to give your opinion?
I would cut Hustle and Flow too.
Hustle and Flow?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They won an Oscar on that movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
I like Halle Berry won some with
Monster Boy when she, was getting tapped by a white man. It is. She played in so many great movies, but that's the one that took it home.
What you say is like that's the only way she's gonna get her Oscar.
That's
That's what you kind of say it like.
Think about it.
That's how they made it.
Hustle and Flow whooped that trick, and all of a sudden she got
exactly.
Derogatory towards our culture is for them to win some Oscars. It look just like Denzel. He ain't get his until he played
the Training Day, a crooked cop.
Yeah.
Well, he's always a good guy in the movie. He had to be a bad guy for once.
Right.
To show his range. The way they say he had to show his range.
Bullshit. Bullshit. So yeah.
Oh yeah, all right, Tim. So we got Hustle and Flow, Hidden Figures, Baby Boy, and Think Like a Man. Which one, Taraji P. Henson's?
You can't cut Baby Boy because that was the introduction on the big screen, right? Her and Tyrese, skinny ass Snoop with that little T-shirt that look. Can't cut that. That's a classic. Hidden Figures was a freaking classic. If you have not seen that movie, which you should have, it's just amazing because. It's the women that working with NASA and just how their brain works. These mathematicians, and one of them is still alive. I can't think of her name right now. Katherine Johnson, I believe that's her name. She's still alive. She's like 101 years old, something like that. But even now, her mind is still sharp. This is back in the day.
Leaving that fluoride alone.
You're stupid. Think Like a Man is a classic. I love when we, as a collective, a group of people, can come together and make a bomb ass movie, and not just a great movie to us, but financially across the board, it made like 100-some million, and Steve Harvey put a stamp on that. So I'm gonna go with the fellas. I'm gonna cut Hustle and Flow. I thought the movie was whack. I couldn't stand Lucius. I know that's not his name in the movie. And that rapping. I couldn't stand that. That was whack. Super whack. Like. I don't know. It was whack to me.
I got the movies mixed up. I did see Think Like a Man.
You saw Think Like a Man?
I'm thinking about the new movie that's about to drop.
What's the one?
That she got with,
when she can understand the man.
Yeah,
the thoughts. I know what you're talking about.
Even I seen Think Like a Man. Even that still cut Hustle and Flow out. Like,
I'm with you. I'm cutting it also. We're about to get into our song of the week. I appreciate our ladies that we're gonna announce it in a hot second. It's gonna give our guests a chance one more time to push your product, talk about your event one more time, and how people can connect with you.
Before I do that, I want to shout out, local Jersey City designers. You have Female King, you have Sheep's Clothing, and Crush Gold. Those all black owners, and they make clothing. But I have the organic toothpaste. You can reach me on SoWavy Kam, SoWavyKam. That's on Instagram. And the link is in the bio to order and purchase the toothpaste. And then I'll be at the Buy Black event February 24th in Jersey City at 60 Westside Avenue or at 5:30. And there'll be all other black vendors there too. And I'll be releasing my facial scrub.
Nice.
All right. So, our song of the week is Dreaming by duo singing group Kyler and Kaylee Kaylin out of Dallas, Texas. You can follow them on IG, the official Kai and K. and they are singing the national anthem. So which one? Which is
I'm
it?
not sure which one, but they're doing a national anthem
tonight at the Dallas game, Dallas Mavericks game.
It might be on right now or past, but
right.
They are doing a national anthem. So
Definitely
shout out to them for doing it big. Let's go into the beat shop, and play our song of the week.
All right,
Dreamer.
All right, so the song of the week.
Stars above, oh, they call to me, they call to me. I see a vision of who I want to be. Oh, a glimpse of my destiny. Chasing shooting stars, no matter how high. Hope it takes me to where I want to be. So we can reach the stars. These rocket shows who we are. I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. These are possibilities, choices that we can ever be. I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. The night comes, goes, still I know the stars are there. Make my dreams into a reality. It's possible. Just believe. Working hard can make your dreams come true. My sweat, my tears, I persevere. Chasing shooting stars, no matter how far. Hope it takes me to where I want to be, so we can reach the stars. These are the shows who we are. I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. These are those possibilities, choices that we can ever be. I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. The night comes, goes, but still I know the stars are out there. The night comes, goes, but still I know the stars are out there.
That is Dreamer.
By our ladies. Make sure you're following them. Kay and Kaylin on IG. Shout outs. Support our local girls. They're young ladies doing their thing. Positive music. Go support them and follow them on IG. Babe, what do you think?
Yo, I think it's a sexy thumbs up.
Thumbs up for me, dog. Cam, was you feeling the song?
2 thumbs up. Yeah, I like the vibe.
Absolutely. It's like a smooth riding music. I'm playing when we get in the car. So,
And our engineer, our studio engineer, what was your feelings?
Thumbs up, doing
beat
your
shop.
thing. Yo, dope.
Listen, send your songs to be featured as our song of the week. Midnight Convos 24/7 at gmail.com.
Wish I had more of that one.
Exactly. Short and sweet. Next time, we'll see you in a week. Peace.
Peace.
Nice. I like that song.